Hi there, this is Paul Thompson from Spitfire Audio. I'm very excited today to be able to show you the first in our eDNA series, Electronic DNA, and this is called Earth. This collection of sounds has been gradually taking shape over the last 10 years. We've been taking our original recordings, orchestral recordings, instrumental recordings, and recordings of our classic synths, and mutating and mangling them in all kinds of different ways, sometimes passing things through several different processes to get a really fresh and non-pristine and interesting collection of very new sounds. There's a lot of stuff in here that you'll never have heard before. There are 6 cartridges in the artist collection. The first is called Dystopia. This is easily the edgiest of the carts, going from stark beauty to senseless, chaotic, frenzied hell. A truly dystopian vision suited to the rougher end of EDM and would also fit well in hybrid blockbuster and trailer work. We also have Movie Drone, a rich palette of sounds suitable for the big screen, with a centerpiece of synthetic orchestral instruments to beautiful, awe-inspiring pads from another world. Disco Man has more fun sounds suitable for contemporary pop and dance, centering on many infectious grooves and a huge collection of leads, basses, keys, and so on. We have Inaud. This centers on the less orchestrally derived aspects of Earth, and here we're merging organic elements with Christian's enormous vintage synth collection. There's elements of retrospective sound and many new fusions among these. We have Dysphoria. This is a fresh new look at many classic EDM sounds. It's a journey from quirky 8-bit and vintage game console right through to ambient techno, minimal house, and on to step sequence patches that will strip the enamel from your teeth. And finally, Sound Swamp is where we feature our simplest sonic couplings, which are derived from the organic orchestral materials. These sounds are almost like earthly instruments and ensembles, but not quite. I'm going to start off, I'll tell you more as we go through about different things, but I'm going to start off, you can see that that each of these cartridges has tons of stuff in there. Really, really great stuff. So let's start off. I'm going to pick a few sounds just to demonstrate the different sounds of Earth, and we'll start off with this lead. Everything generally has some excitement with the mod wheel. So here we go. Now you can see that as I'm moving the mod wheel, different things are changing here. In this case, it's just the low pass filter. But we can also set up all kinds of things. For example, the oscillation mixer, which can oscillate between the two sound banks in A and B. And I'll go into that in more detail later. But for now, I'm just going to pick sounds and we'll go through and have a listen. So this one was from the lead section here, and here's a silly one that Christian's made just to automate all kinds of other stuff, and it sounds like this. So you can see that as I'm moving the mod wheel, all kinds of other stuff is changing now as well. So from taking that basic sound and then automating more parameters with the mod wheel, you can see how easy it is to kind of mangle these sounds yourself. So let's move on. Where are we? Let's have a look at this one. So again, mod wheel action. So you can hear there's a lot of stuff going on under the hood there. We've got, let's look for our guttural. Here we go, have a listen to this. So you can hear we've got some valve filtering going on with the mod wheel on that one. You can also hear that's kind of showing the motor. So actually, if I switch the motor, we'll have a look at this. So you can see that there are motor controls of intensity and frequency being affected here. We'll go into that in more detail in another walkthrough. I'm going to show you basically the sounds for now. So I don't want to get too bogged down in the detail of how the interface works. But you can always check this out in our knowledge base online. If you go to the website and go to the knowledge, you can read the entire manual is up there, so you can have a look and see how everything works. Let's have a listen to something from the drops and rises. So you can get, if we start with the mod wheel down, can lock it by pushing the mod wheel up, or you can let it go down and all the way back up. And then lock it again with the mod wheel at the end there. So that's an example for the drops and rises. Let's have a look in the keys. Let's pick up. So again, you've got some great stuff on the mod wheel here. I'll just play. So you can see here how, as I'm moving the mod wheel, we're moving the crossfader between the two sections A and B. So some lovely stuff there. Let's have a look at. So you can see here the mod wheel controls the low pass filter. Lovely decay on that. And then if we have a quick look, there's a nice one. Where are we? This is one of my favorites, post-apocalyptic organ, and the coming over the AM radio, which is the mod wheel again. And then we've got a whole section of sequencer sounds in here. Let's have a look. So if we go for Awesome Mean Streets Heavier. So some great stuff in there. Awesome Rhythm. This is a sequenced one as well. So you can hear that I'm using the mod wheel to do little triplety things going on in there. So let's move on to a different cartridge. I don't want to spend too long on each one because there are a ton of sounds in every cartridge, as you can see. We're going to move on next to Moviedrome. So Moviedrome has a ton of really great kind of atmoses. These atmoses tend to be slightly atonal. I'll give you an example of one. Let's have a listen to another. So if we go for the pads, let's have a listen. The pads are split up into different sections. Let's try first one from the ethereal. Taste of Space. And again, if I move the mod wheel, so you can hear how we're crossfading between the two sounds there. If we try something from the archaic section, Dawn of Man. And again, mod wheel. And then one of the big sections within this this cartridge is the synthetic cinematic orchestra. And these are split up, as you might imagine, into the different orchestral sections. There's lots of great stuff in here. Let's have a listen to some strings. So I'm going to show you an example between fast and slow delineation that we have in some of these. So Goretzky Anthem Slow sounds like this. And then if we go into the fast version of that, then you'll hear. It's good for kind of doing that kind of stabby stuff. Much harder, faster attack. Different samples. A lot of these are multi-sampled as well, so you've got a real kind of rich, deep sound in there. Let's have a quick listen to something from the Winds. Anthem Epic. Again, we've got a. You use the mod wheel to crossfade and oscillate between the two in the mixer section. And let's have, this is one of my favorites actually, Colenium. Let's load that up. And this, I love this. It's a really, really fantastic sound. This is a good one. The best one's Slow and Mammoth. And then we've also got, again, fast version of this. And here's another of my favourites, York Keys versus Droog Pad. So there's kind of sounds in here, you know, it goes, we're definitely non-pristine at this point. We're looking at sounds that I imagine Nick Cave would like. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at another cartridge. So I'm going to go back in. Let's pick Disco Man. So here, let's look at the keys. We've got, this is a nice one, I like this one. So these, some of these sounds are gated, give you that kind of, so you can use these and they lock to the sequence. So at the moment obviously we're at 120, but if you've got this going in a sequence in Logic or Cubase or whatever you use, then it will lock to the tempo, and you can either select it to stop oscillating on release, stop sequencing on release, or you can like we have it now, just leave it to continue while the decay portion happens. So here, so you can see that we're using the gate sequencer on this one. Again, we'll explain more about that, and you can read it in the manual online. But it's incredibly powerful, a very, very useful way to get some great kind of percussive sounds going in the background of your tracks. Get some good grooves going there. So let's have a look at Restless Keys, like this one. This is another gated. So again, all of this stuff is controllable. You can go in and you can alter the ADSRs if you want a longer decay, all that kind of stuff. It kind of works pretty much like a normal synth would. Sharp keys. Let's have a quick look at that, and then we'll move on. Okay, so some great stuff in there, and as you can see, you've got, again, basses, leads, pads, sequences, string sections. So that's Disco Man. Now, let's have a look next at Analogonaut. So if we, let's check out one of the basses. Oh, let's do the wob. I like this. And again, this is going to be all of this stuff controllable by the wobble page here. Lots of different things you can modulate and use. And we're using the sub motor here to drive the motor. So again, lots of depth for this, lots of scope for mangling your own sounds and getting something that's really unique to you. Let's have a look at some of the Dawn of Digital. Yeah, so this is kind of inspired by Christian's youth growing up in the 80s when digital really started to come through into movie scoring. So let's have a quick listen to a few of these great sounds in here. So you get the idea. It's all good fun. Let's have a look at Amazing Digital Anthem. Again, nice big chords. So some great stuff in there. What we're using the gate sequencer here to give you a kind of extra sub-layer of interest. So it's a good way to use the two different sounds to go between them, where the sounds are not massively different, but they're different enough to give you that texture as the sequence oscillates them. Okay, let's have a look at the keys set. Let's load up beautiful cluster chords. Again, we've got the mod wheel doing your res for your high pass filter. Now, as you can hear, we have this incredible polyphonic glide script going here. It's really, really powerful, and once you start programming stuff with it, you'll kind of hear where. And one of the great things you can do is you can have it operating on one side, but not on the other side. So you can get all kinds of combinations of different sounds. Really, really useful thing there. Let's go for Gentle Sonar. I love this one. So again, this is kind of great for your arpeggiated sort of thing. And then mod wheel is controlling the smooth out for that, so you can change the how that operates when you've got the gate sequencer going. So let's look at the pads. Ghostly simple pad. Let's have a look at this one. Mod wheel is filter again. So that's a nice sound. We've got sequencer section in here as well. This one's great. I love this one. Some of these samples are incredibly long as well. So if you hold the keys down, which I'll do now. So you can hear that even as I'm morphing between the two sounds, those sounds themselves are gradually changing in their timbre. So you've got there's some incredible kind of, you can get some really beautiful gradually changing textures out of this stuff. So let's have a quick look at Dysphoria. So this is all the kind of stuff, the EDM style stuff, more kind of clearly EDM than some of the other stuff. For example, if I pick a fall, you've got this kind of thing. And then obviously that's kind of, you can hear that that's automatically oscillating there. We've got a whole section of leads. This one's a good one. And mod wheel being res. And then we've got a huge selection. Oh, actually, let me show you the valved version. So again, valve filtering. So that kind of shows you that you know, if you just kind of morph things around, add a bit of filtering to different things, and we've dragged them down. Just click the cartridge down out of the way. We've dragged them down into the FX dashboard, which you can you'll see in another walkthrough, or if you want to read the manual, you can see how to do that. It's very, very simple, and you can whack all the controls that you really want to grab, have instant access to on the front here from within the various effects and motor sections in here. So let's go back to the mixer, and now we've got a whole section of pluck sounds in here. So just pick some at random. For that kind of rhythmic stuff. Let's have a look. We've got this one, compressed tail. We've got some nasty brass. Super plucks, mod wheel is tightness. Kind of thing. Go to has plucks, so that's one I'll load. So some great stuff in there, and again, these can just be the starting point for you to to really tailor a sound to get exactly the kind of thing that you want. Let's have a look at some of the sequency parts in here. So helicopter concerto, one of my favourites. So you've got kind of stuff. We've got a whole section of synths in here. Awesome Roads, that's a good one. Where's that? So again, you're morphing from this sound, and then we've got here so you've got two different kinds of things going on here. You've got your oscillations and your gate sequencer going. Let's look at the Epic Trance synth. So that's a great one. Does what it says on the tin. Oops, missed. Mellow synth. And then if you pull the mod wheel back, it gives you the option to kind of go in and out of that gating effect. Very, very useful there. So let's have a quick look at the sound swamp. So the sound swamp is where we've put the vanilla patches that crossfade. So patches where they have either quiet and loud versions. I'll show you actually. Let's look. So if we use the drones, let's pick up the first drone. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, so if I have a listen to this. So you can see we've got two versions of this sound. There's the soft and the loud ones. Now, if you feel like the soft one is already too loud, you can just trim it back, and then you can get a real gradual soft to loud, even more extremes. Just trim them, very, very easy. And then you end up with your kind of traditional mod wheel controller dynamic. So let's have a look at Mystic pads. So you can see here as well, we've got this dysprosium pad, and then there's a surround version, and that's generated from the original All material that produced this. This is literally two different perspectives. Those are the surround mics from those recordings. So you can load two instances of this and route the surround version to your rear speakers, and you'll get a genuine surround experience for this pad, and then stick them on the same MIDI channel. So to give you again another kind of idea, so we can pull the trim back on the soft one to get more dynamic. Now the other thing, I'm going to show you quickly how the oscillate mixer works. So if we put this on, and we'll put it to slow it down a bit to 8 times. And then I'm going to actually I'm going to put the trims back so they're both at the same, roughly the same volume. And then I'm going to pan one of them a little bit left and one of them a little bit right. And then let's have a quick listen to this. So you can hear we're getting a really lovely oscillation there. It's really incredibly simple. If I can make it more extreme, just in case YouTube is not quite so obvious. So you can hear what we're doing there. And that's, you can also set to stop and release so that when you let go of the keys, it just sticks where it is. Or alternatively, if you have that switched off, it will continue oscillating until there's no sound left. So that's the sound swamp. So I'm going to leave it there for this walkthrough, trying to keep it as short as possible. But you've got literally a ton of stuff in here. There are a pool of over 1,900 instruments which make up this content. We've got our first set of patches here in the artist's collection is 1001 patches organised into cartridges. You've got also the factory collections that can feature up to 600 instruments inside them. I'm going to very quickly show you how those work. So the individualized ones means a single sound in each slot. With the collections, you've got, let's for example load warped strings. You've got a collection of sounds inside the actual inside here, which are all selectable. And you can see there's a lot of stuff in there. So really, there's huge scope for you to get in and start making your own sounds from all of this stuff. Christian's put together a best of here. And then when you go into the extras, these 3, 4, and 5 are the kind of extra sections. I'm going to come into those in a later walkthrough so you can, I can go into more detail with that. But that's all for today. First look at Earth eDNA. We are really excited about this one. It's very useful, and it's the kind of thing that we've been hankering after for a long time, especially Christian and myself, always looking for some great unusual synth sounds. And the advantage of the way that we've put this library together is that you won't hear the same sound that you're using on your $100 million blockbuster on the documentary about the life cycle of the fruit fly the following day. So you can really dig in and create sounds that are your own signature in here. And we'll go into more detail in future walkthroughs. So this is going to be coming over the next couple of days. Keep an eye on our website, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.